Since first appearing in 1997, Jack Reacher has become a monster. More than 24 books later, he continues to top bestseller lists by smashing the competition.
Why'd you gotta hit him so hard?
I don't hit soft.
He's a multimedia global phenomenon. Yeah, they're the movies and the TV shows, but you can get action figures, coffee mugs and T-shirts, even inspirational drink coasters, Reacher-themed diaries, and the perfect Christmas gift for mum, a Jack Reacher shower curtain. Author Lee Child has sold over 100 million books worldwide. And the story of a former US military policeman,
You guys recycle?
written by a Brit, is huge in New Zealand.
New Zealand is the world capital of Reacher madness.
Reacher even got too big for Lee, so he's begun sharing writing duties with his brother Andrew, and their latest collab is book 28 in the series, The Secret. Lee and Andrew Child, welcome to the project. Now, confession, I've got the new book, The Secret, but I haven't cracked it open yet. I'm actually saving it. I love the books. I'm savouring it for when I can get the perfect time to read it over my holidays during Christmas. Do you get that sort of thing a lot with your books?
You're absolutely not alone. There's a lot of readers who buy it, but they will not read it until the next one is available because they don't want to feel they've run out of Reacher stories.
Correct.
And actually, I love to hear that people are holding on to them and waiting because, you know, it takes us a year to write them. So sometimes you hear people saying, oh, I read that one in a day. And you're like, oh, my goodness, you know, that doesn't seem fair somehow, does it?
It doesn't. Well, I can see why. It's an addiction. Now, Lee, I interviewed you a few years back when you came to New Zealand, and it seems it was actually back then, maybe 6 years ago, you were already quietly thinking about calling it quits, yeah?
Yeah, it was 2018 when I was in New Zealand. That was secretly a sort of farewell tour because I hadn't announced it yet, but I was planning to quit.
Wow.
And then I got this, you know, that tour was so lovely and people were so into Reacher that it really changed my mind a little bit. I thought, no, I cannot just end the series. I've got to find some way of keeping it going. So I hatched this crazy scheme to ask Andrew, did he want to do it? And he said, yeah, so here we are.
And, you know, overnight when I was thinking about it, it struck me, if I say no, then there'll be not only will there be no more Reachers, but it'll be my fault. So I just couldn't say no. So but I said yes, and here we are 4 years later.
Yeah, and this is the fourth book you've written together. Lee, do you remember the first time you read a bit of Reacher and you hadn't written it?
Yeah, I did, and that was super nervous. You know, was this a terrible mistake? And the thing that really totally changed my mind about that was the beginning of the second book, because the first book we worked together quite intensively. I thought we were going to start up with conversations about it, but actually what he did in secret, he wrote chapter 1 and just emailed it to me.
Whoa.
And I remember I was right here in this room and bing, the email comes in. And he says, how about this for chapter 1? And I thought, wow, that is a great, it was a brilliant chapter. It was just a great opening chapter. And that totally convinced me. I thought, yeah, this is definitely going to work. Also, it's going to be real easy. If he writes it in secret and then just tells me about it, that works for me.
The perfect job. Now, I think we talked about this last time, but there's been a development. To many Reacher fans, Tom Cruise was the wrong guy to play him in the movies, but surely it must be totally different with Alan Richon in the TV series, because he looks like a Reacher, right?
Totally the reverse. Yeah, I mean, the Tom Cruise thing took me by surprise a little bit because to me, obviously a movie is just a version of the book. It doesn't replace it. It doesn't change anything really. It's a parallel thing, but they were so against Tom Cruise. And Alan Richson playing Reacher for the Amazon streaming is he's exactly what Reacher ought to be.
Yeah, well, congratulations on all your success and more in the future. Lee and Andrew Child, thanks for chatting with us on the project tonight.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody in New Zealand for being such great Reacher readers over the years. The world capital of Reacher madness, that's New Zealand.
He loves New Zealand. A lot of the other chat we had really loves New Zealand, really launched the Jack Reacher books. And Lee and Andrew Child's latest book, The Secret, out now.